5 million sub gaming YouTuber Zack Scott went viral on Twitter this week for something that's so absurd it's hard to believe. After the recent Nintendo Direct where they announced Mario Kart World, a new update to the series, Daisy fans drew art of her in her new outfits, such as her wearing swimwear, her on a magic carpet, and more. This then led Zack over the next few days to continually prompt dozens of artists over and over again the same exact commission. Draw the same fan art you just made, except make her an elephant. And now many people are wondering whether this is something innocent or possibly more perverted. Welcome to the internet versus Elephant Daisy. It starts out when Jay tweets out this image of Daisy and says, "I can't wait to see this outfit fully, OMG," and then quote tweets themselves with the full outfit and says, "Oh my goodness," to which Zack Scott quote tweets them saying, "Is there an Elephant Daisy version of this?" Jay replies saying, "Oh." Average Sphere replies with this gif saying, "I know what kind of man you are." To which the community very quickly responded with Ishigami-chan quote tweeting Zack saying, "There is now with this drawing." Now this obviously inspired Zack to go on some kind of tirade with the Daisy Elephant style. He quote tweeted this saying, "This is great, and this is only just the beginning." Nintendo fans and artists alike started posting their own versions of Daisy, such as Sarah Sketches who posted this art with a caption, "Had to draw this out real quick," to which Zack quote tweets them saying, "I loved the original, but she wasn't an elephant, so I commissioned the same artist to turn her into an elephant." Bridget replies, "Did I miss the start of Elephant Lover Zack Scott era?" Armis says, "Zack, what is the grand plan?" Pandora replies, "In a world of AI quote retweets, Zack Scott is a shining beacon. You know the niche art redraws have been ethically sourced." But it didn't stop there when Moxie Draws tweets out the new Daisy design with this art, and Zack Scott again quote tweets it with the same caption, "I loved the original, but she wasn't an elephant, so I commissioned the same artist to turn her into an elephant." Josh replies, "Zack, stop. Your bitch too bad, your smoke too tough. They'll kill you." And Zack replies, "They'll have to before I stop." D-Started replies with this image of Bowser and Peach, where it's Bowser trying to give a flower to Peach, and then after she eats the elephant's fruit, it turns into an entire bouquet. Greenman replies, "This is the person I watched all those years ago. This is the YouTuber that I watched play 3D Land, Dark Moon, Sticker Star, and Dream Team. This is why I subscribed. This is my GOAT." Velco tweets Zack Scott with this image of Superman in the caption, "So I commissioned the same artist." Drivo Jr. also tweets out some art they made of Daisy with a caption, "Ready to cart the world," and Zack Scott quote tweets it saying, "I loved the original, but she wasn't an elephant, so I commissioned the same artist to turn her into an elephant." Maddie replies, "How much money, Zack? How much on elephant commissions?" and attaches a gif of the Joker saying, "It's not about the money, it's about sending a message." And Zack Scott replies with this gif in the caption, "My face when I see an artist has agreed to do my elephant commission." Mangle quote tweets Zack with this HR meme that starts with Zack saying, "I like fat bitches," and the woman saying, "Aw, you're sweet," and then Pyro Cynical saying, "I like fat bitches," and the woman saying, "Hello? Human resources?" Garrett the Garbage Man replies, "Never compare these two again." Bon replies, "One has repeatedly shown fetish content to their self-admitted audience of minors, and the other likes Elephant Daisy." Mangle replies, "I may have made a mistake." And Tom Ryan replies, "Fixed it," and swaps the roles of Pyro and Zack. Bella replies, "Cause Zack Scott is funny and Pyro Cynical isn't." Enzo quote tweets Zack and says, "My mother asks me, 'Son, are the dishes clean?' I respond, 'Zack Scott.' Her teeth clenched in anger and disappointment. She knew they weren't washed." A Block of Cheese quote tweets Zack and says, "Is this a fetish?" Pump Daddy quote tweets Zack Scott with this gif in the caption, "Artist DMs when they make a single piece of Daisy fan art." Toon Noah compiles the last 3 elephant drawings and requests that we saw from Zack and asks, "Literally zero shaming here, but is Zack okay? At least he's commissioning artists and not using AI," and attaches a gif of Plankton saying, "All right, I get it. Listen, I hate AI art too, but after the 30th reply saying the exact same thing, I'm getting really close to muting my notifs." Gamescage replies to Toon Noah by saying, "I just love the idea that bro is going to these people's DMs saying, 'Hey, your fan art is great, but can you change it to Elephant Daisy? I'll pay you.'" Azrael says, "He's been like this since the Wonder trailer dropped." Spoopers replies, "I'm not kink shaming, I'm kink asking why." Random Riot tweets out this art of Daisy with a caption, "This took me a while, but I love how it turned out. My girl looks so good in her new outfit. I seriously can't wait for this game." And Zack comes back with the same caption and her now drawn as an elephant. Lucky Break replies, "You're just so based, Zack," and attaches an image that says, "If you don't like Elephant Daisy, you should try again." And Zack replies with a gif of SpongeBob saying, "Want to see me do it again?" Kingly Pancakes replies with this video.
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
Zach then tweets out this gif with a caption, "Me when I find an amazing Daisy artist and their commissions are closed." Tilo B quote tweets Zach and says, "Okay, but real talk, 1, how does he have the fucking money to still be doing this? 2, this has been going on since Wonder released. There is no way this isn't a fucking running gag anymore. My guy wants to fuck elephants." Maro replies, 1, he's been a successful OG YouTuber since the early days of YouTube, so he's most likely pretty stable financially. 2, I mean, yeah, it's weird, but hey, he's actually supporting artists and giving them some free publicity instead of using AI, so that's something good about it. Kyo Pa replies, "I just see it as him wanting Elephant Daisy because she's fat." Alk says, "I have a friend who has been commissioned around 20 times to draw someone's OCs and inmate/prisoner scenarios. You just don't believe this stuff is real until it happens to you or a friend of yours." And Tila replies, "To be honest, I know this is a thing. I've been mutuals with people who commission very specific shit before, or requested it. To be blunt, this stuff's tricky. As long as you're not hurting anybody, it's fine, but unless you're ZackScottGames, the average Joe can lose money fast to comms." Mini Drives replies, 5 million subscribers, average 10k views per video, commissioning elephantization, why did I write that, of Daisy all day, every day, for the past couple of years. Yeah, he's got a sugar mama and he's plowing the life out of her on the daily. Uyi quote tweets Zach and says, "I like to imagine shit in DMs goes like, that's a great Daisy fan art you got there. I like it." Throws rack of money on the table. "Now make her an elephant." Caroline also tweets out swimwear Daisy. Oh, and then would you look at that? There is the drawing now as an elephant and the same caption. Every single one of these tweets gets like 2 million views or more, by the way. I like Ducks quote tweets Zach and says, "The nefarious Zach Scott whenever someone makes fan art of Daisy."
Stand ready for my arrival, worm.
IGN posts that Nintendo has insisted Mario Kart World justifies its shock $80 price tag, and Zach quote tweets it with a picture of the elephant fruit saying, "For $80, this better be one of the items in the game." And Putis Power replies, "Why are you obsessed with elephants?" Back to Nina posts this fan art of Daisy and captions it by saying, "I've been obsessed with Daisy's new outfit, like that's princess, that's queen." And Zach quote tweets it with the same caption, now commissioned as an elephant. The at replies, "I don't get the joke about the elephants, besides confusing the artist, unless you're just publicly admitting your fetish." And Jeremy replies, "Everyone knows he has an elephant fetish, dude." Marisa Rules quote tweets him by saying, "No controversy or anything, just goons publicly on main to Elephant Daisy for the love of the game. I respect him more for this." Crow's Bluff quote tweets Zach and says, "This guy is like the Wonder Bread guy, but wholesome. Definitely chaotic good." Manny's Art also tweets out their fan art of Daisy, and Zach again asks for an elephant version, which is now here on screen. And that guy Cohen replies, "At what point do we start kink shaming this?" And Comrade says, "The more we acknowledge it, the more it emboldens him." Midas replies with this cropped image in the caption, "Dude," and it's Daisy fan art, and then Zach Scott's reply cut off. Frankie Stein's gay uncle replies, "I respect this man's hustle." And Midas says, "I hope they put Elephant Daisy in Mario Kart World just for him." Void replies, "Guaranteed Zach Scott interaction if you draw Daisy." And we're just gonna rapid fire some of these here. Poxamar Keenhost posts their fan art of Daisy, to which Zach quote tweets it, again having it drawn as an elephant. McCoy replies, "My honest reaction," attaching this image of an elephant over his face. And Zach replies, "It's like I'm looking in a mirror." Galaxy Cowboy tweets out their Princess Daisy art, to which Zach then quote tweets it, having it drawn as an elephant. Tobuscus replies, "What is going on?" And Hood Grimes says, "Unk dragging it now." Echo tweets out their fan art of Daisy, to which Zach Scott again makes it an elephant. Posting replies, "You're committing timeline terrorism. Please chill." Sosky tweets out their fan art of Swimwear Daisy, and Games Cage ats Zach Scott in the replies, to which Sosky says, "Chill." And then, Zach Scott, quote tweeted them as an elephant. We're on number 11, by the way. And number 12, Dynablade tweets out their fan arts with a caption, "Not buying these," and Zach makes them an elephant. I mean, at this point, it's just too much. Another Daisy fan arts with a caption, "No reason to draw Daisy." And Zach again, even just if this has been going on for days, this is like the 13th one at this point, drawn as an elephant. I'm done at this point. I don't even know why I made a video on this stupid ass topic. So shout out to Kiko. I'll see you guys in the next episode.